how it works, and how to work with a file, end file, how to work with a directory, right? How to get all the files in all files from directories, right? And in all directories, how to read files, right? All the physical properties and everything we've already seen. Okay? So now let's look into the next one, which is I/O streams. Basically, streams. We call it streams. So we normally use streams. We normally call I/O, which is input and output. Input and output stream, which is for reading and writing the data. So the reading and writing data can be into a file, into a network, right? Or into anything where we use streaming bytes, right? So as we are in files, right? This is something which is mainly used to deal with the content of data. When I say content of data, it's content of file, which we normally deal with using file streams. So file streams again need the file class to deal with file, because we have to mention which file it has to write or which file it has to read, right? So it is very important again. So there are few classes under I/O streams which are very important to read and write the files, right? And there are few enumerations which is like in different operation types to read and write a file. Anyways, we are going to see all those anyways. So few classes which you are going to use is, the first one is a file stream, right? So this is a class which is basically used to read and write into a file, right? And you have stream reader, the end class which is used to read the file, or you have something called a writer tool, which is stream writer, used to write into a file or write into a byte stream. And you have something called file access types. So here we normally give file access while reading and writing. We normally have file access types like just read, just write, or read and write, and all sorts. So among them, initially we are more interested on the stream classes, because they are the ones which actually give the basic functionality of reading and writing into a byte stream. Right? So let's look into different methods which we have for in the stream reader and writer. So in stream reader, to read, basically we need a method which can read a complete data, right, or line by line into byte stream. So for that we have a method called read, and we have something called read line. Right? Two different methods. We have read and read line. Read will actually read all the content of the file or a stream at once, right? And read line will actually read the logical line, right, and returns it. So this we are going to use a read line, and the read line will actually read a line by line where you have to iterate through all the buffer content to completely read it. So these are two things, and then you have something called flush. So this is for reading or writing, right? We need these methods because whenever you are actually working with the streams, right? Byte stream basically. So you can see here this is a notepad. I'm actually typing on notepad, right? But wherever I've saved this content, whatever I'm writing, is not actually saved as a real English, right? So this will be converted as a byte form, right? And I'm going to save. And in system, my file with the content whatever I've written will be saved as a byte buffer, right? And whenever I open this file, right, it will open my editor and it will read all the byte buffer content and it will show on the screen. Right? That's how it comes. Which means you are actually working with the byte buffers. And whenever you're working with the byte buffers, it's very important to actually flush the latest content of it. Because if any buffer is left alone, right, it will be actually next time whenever you're reading the next set of line, let's say, right, and the old buffers, if it gets added to the new line, then your data may be corrupted. Right? In order to get rid of this, it's very important to flush. What it will do is it will actually clean up all the bytes whichever are there in your stream, so that the next set of things whatever you're reading are the fresh ones. Right? So that is your methodology, the main method which you are going to see. And then the stream writer, you have a writer or something called write or write line, right? And then you have something called which is used mainly to clear the buffer. And in both reader and writer, there is one method, close. And this is again a very important method, because whenever you open a file to write or read, right, once your task is done, it's very important to close. If you remember, while working with file, right, here, right, while working with file.create, see here, it returns file stream. You see, it returns file stream, which means one of the type of stream actually opened. Right? As soon as you create a file, it will create a file and make it open for some task, which is either a writing or reading. Right? But while creating file, we don't want to read or write anything. We just wanted to create a file. Right? That's the reason why. As soon as we created a file, we closed it. Otherwise, what it will do, it will actually open up the file and it will log the file for reading or writing. And if any other process or any other manual operation will not be possible at that time. Right? So that is something which is your close method. Right? Unlocking your file or closing your file to close a stream. Right? So this is your reader and writer which we have. So let's check out an example to see how it's going to work. So let me create a new class here. So let me copy one part, then the file part. Let me do this main here. So we have the main method here. Now we can write the file. So now here we have a file path, right? And what we are going to do is we are writing to file. Now, is it mandatory to have a file? I mean, file in the sense, is it mandatory that your file should be in a created form? No, because whenever you're working with stream, right, even if your file is not there, your stream will create the file, because we're going to use a file stream, right? A stream is going to create a file even if it is not there, and then it will work on writing into it. So first we are going to see how to write Intel file. So let me create a new method. Write file. So let's make it as a write file, and we have it. So let's write file over here, and let me call this write file from here. So in write file, so we will be following some steps to read or write or do some operations from the file, right? As we have followed in a file, because whenever we create a file, we create it and close the stream. Right? Same way. Let's see how it's going to work. So here, let me take file stream. See here, whenever I try to get the file stream, right, it is not actually showing it because I have to use system.io class. So this is an input output class which will give you access to your streaming classes. So you have file stream. The file stream will be called as fs is equal to. Now this file stream have got few overridden constructors, right, which we can use for creating a stream. Now this creating a stream is like you are actually creating a path, right, from your file to the actual neck, where from on that path I can write something, right? So this is something, this file stream is like the path you are creating, and on top of that, what is the class which will be using to write? It is stream writer, right? So file stream is just like a path you are actually creating. So which path? Now in this file stream you have to give what is the file and make it open, in which mode we have to open or not, right? So first let's give a file path. This is a file path here, and then let me give file mode. See here, there are different modes in a file. Now this is the first type of enum which we are talking about, right? File stream and different streams you have seen, but internal to that we have some access enums, right? Some file opening enums now. So the first type is file mode. So here it means that it is actually asking in which mode you want to open the file, right? Is it an append mode, which means what it will do is it will append the file if there are already some lines exist in a file. Then what it will do, whatever you are going to write in this will be appended at the end, right? Next one is a create, just create it, right? And if there is a file, it will be written. Now you can see here, you can actually mouse over and you can get all the things, right? And we have an open, right? Or open or create or truncate, and you can actually create, go ahead with any mode you want. Okay. So let's say I'm going to create, use a mode called create. Right? Let's say I don't have any file over here. Let me delete these two. Right? So as soon as I create, obviously it will be created, and it will actually give me a write permission. Right? Now this is something where I'm actually opening up my mode of file. Now the next thing you have to go is your file access. So let me give file access dot. Now you can see there are three different types of file access you can give: read, write, or write. Right? I can open up the stream. I can open up the stream for a file for both operations, read and write, or individual read and write operations. So as we are doing only write now, right? Let's go ahead with our write operation. That's it. Now here you have created you have actually created a way to file path, or to way to this file to create it and also to write it in this. So this is your file stream. This is how we normally create a file stream. Now we have created a path. Now how to write into it? right? We have a file ready, we have a stream ready to write into it. So in order to put some bytes into that stream, we need a stream writer. We have a stream writer called, let me call it as system. Let's say new stream writer. Now here you can see it needs a stream, right? So stream writer is the end class to which I can actually pass on some data, which it will take, and it is asking for, okay, I got the details, where to place. Now I want stream writer to place all data in my file stream, which is this. So this completes the actual creation of a file stream and the corresponding stream operation, which is currently we are using stream writer. Now if you are successfully completed these two, then the next steps are simple. So just to write, you can just say sw dot, we have something called write or write head. See here, we have two different operations. Let's say I'm going to write head, and let's say I have, I'm just writing one simple line. Right, and once you are done with this right line, what we have to do? We have to do two things. First, we have simple method called flush, and after you are done with this, then these two operations. Now flush should be called with write line. If you are writing multiple lines, we'll see right away. Right? I'm just starting with a single line. We'll see multiple lines and we'll see how flush will be used. Right? And once it is done, I'm just closing it up, which is SW stream writer close. Let's run this and see how it is going to work. And here, let me say let me just make it as right out successful, and here let me put it as a key so that I can wait. I can make wait. I can make console wait. Let me run this. So here your write operation is successful. Let's go to this. Now you can see here you have sample file, and you can see it shows size as 1 KB, which is 1000 bytes. Now, is it real that you have created 1 KB of data? Right? Actually, no. But why it is showing 1 KB? Because in our folders, right, the minimum size which it will show directly in your details is 1 KB. But if you select that file and see the end summary of here, you can see the actual size is 15 bytes. You can see here, the actual size of the file is 15 bytes, and we just created it now. Fine. So this is your sample file which got created, right? And it shows 1 KB, but actually it is 15 bytes. So whatever data we wrote here, right, is of 15 bytes. Fine. Now this is your write operation where we have written some lines. So let's go into file and see how it is. Now you can see in your file this right. So let's check out how to write multiple lines in it. So let's close this, and now what I'll do, let me create a simple for loop. Let me say I want some 10 lines, and I use this. Here what I do, I just say I plus right. So it will just print I, which is a value, and then the string. Right? So write operation successful. Now let's go back to this. Now you can see there are 170 bytes which got created. Right? So let's open up this. Now you can see here. Right, it actually created 10 lines. Now what happened to the previous slide? Now we actually did a mode called create mode. Right? What it will do? It will override the file, whatever you are doing. Right? Every time it will override your file, right? And it will create the fresh data, whatever you plan. Right? Let's see the other mode, which is my file append mode. Right? And then we'll check out. And let's say I am going to write append mode here. Append something. So write operation successful. Go back here. And we have sample.txt, read.ts, and you see appended. This will append your data, right, at the end towards end of your file. Right? So that is your so this is how we write into a file. Right? Now here there are a few changes which we have to do here. Now let's say if you're not closing it, let me just show you what happens if you don't try to close. Now here you have write successful here. Now maybe you may not see. Let me just open up as again. Now as you are opening up your editor, right, you may be able to edit this, right? Just do some operation to try to save. Now you can see here when I clicked on I just try to type something and I try to save. Now you can see, please check if the file is opened in another program. On the same file, right, you will not be do any other operation, I mean appending or any other process. It can be manual or it can be through program, right? You won't be able to access this file, right? Because somehow we missed to close the stream, right? And whenever I open any file here, obviously your operating system will provide a stream to type in, and whenever you save, it will save on that file unfound bytes. But it is not happening, right? It won't allow me to save. Whenever I save, it won't allow. Right now, in this program, it's completely locked. Let me get out of this program, which means the process is given here. Let me go back to file and type in and save. See here, when I click on save, now it is saving. See, let me close this and open this again. See, now the file is open. Fine. So now in this file, you have things ready. So this is how it actually works over here, where we have to close the stream. Otherwise, what happens if your program is completely live, right? Then until unless it closes, other process will not be able to use that file. Right? So these are the writing. Let's check out how to read. Now before that, let's look into the best practices which we can use here to close your stream, even if some exception happens, right? There may be chance that some exception may happen and it may not close. Like, let me just say something like, same thing, x is equal to, let me just say, you have some, let me declare this I outside. Right, so I'm actually doing a simple operation which will create an exception. So file read is done, but this is something which I'm showing you some real-time scenario which can happen. Here I'm gonna write some message. Right? So let me start. Now you can see exception attempted to ever 0. everything was successful. Now see here what happened to your file. Let me now previously you had 30 lines, right? Let me open it again. Now you can see your file actually got appended. Everything is fine. But what happened before closing your program, right? There was some exception and it actually completely, whatever statements are there after this, right, completely got skipped. Now go back to your file, type in something and try to save. See again. And that's it. This file, until unless you close your previous process, right, your file will not be unlocked. Right? Now you are closing your stream, but again, if anything happens, there is a risk, major risk. Right? Now actually, what to do now? So let me show you that. So always, this is a situation where your exception handling, your nested exception handling will work. So here, whenever you are creating streams or anything, right, put everything in one try catch. Let's say you have one full try catch over here. What I'm going to do for your 5 streams. So something may happen that while creating your 5 streams itself, you may get some issue. Right? I may give a stream better. There can be any issue where it can happen, right? So in that situation, what we're going to do is let me create this 5 stream out of this try. And let me use that variable. Same way, I'll create this stream writer out of the. I'm just creating variables of file stream and stream writer outside my scope of try. And what I'm doing, whatever happens in between, what I want to do is I want to close the stream for sure. Let me go for family. This is good. Even if any exception happens or not, I want to close the stream. That's it. And put this outside. Now this is your best program what you can write while doing your file operations. Right? Now here again, let's say if anything happens, any exception happens here, then what to do? I mean here or even before this line where you are creating stream writer. And even before you are creating stream writer, if any exception happens, then what will be the value of stream writer? It will be null. Can you close your null stream? No. So for that, to be more secure, just check whether your stream writer is not equal to null. If your stream writer got something, then close. Then you don't have to worry about that. That's the first step. Second step, your stream writer object got created and something happened in between. Doesn't matter. You are closing your stream writer, which means you are safe. Now let me run this and see if any exception happens. What exactly will this do? As of now, you can see. Let me just delete all the abandoned ones. Right, I have only 10 lines. Let me save. Now you can see I can save the file. Fine. Why? There is no other process which logs it. Now let me run this. Now you can see exception happened. Right? You got an exception. But you can see the write operation was successful. Right? Because it came out and it actually worked. Now let me open up this sample. Yes. Now you can see it appended. Let me write. I just try to and save. Now you can see it got saved. Right? So this is how we should write a program. It is not only for your file streams or just for writing your file or reading your file. You can actually use these patterns for everything like multi-threading while looping. Inside your loop there should be exception handling, because if anything happens, we have already seen that, if you remember. If anything happens in between the loop, right, in the thread, what happens? Your thread will get killed. In order to skip that, inside your for loop, whatever happens, right, you want to run your thread infinitely, which means handle your exception there, and whatever happens, this is like your shock absorber. Whatever happens, this will take care, but your actual task will be running this. right? So this is how we normally write program to write into a file. So now our file is ready. Let's start updating. Now let's see how to read a file. So let me create one more with that. Okay, so let me get this. So here so let me create a file stream first. Right, fs is equal to new file stream. Now here again you have to give a file path, right? And then let's give the file mode. Now this time what do I need? For this read file, the minimum prerequisite is a file should be there. And if file is not there, then it will actually give you a file not found or stream not accessible, some etc. So here we just for reading we don't need append, create or we just need an operation to. And now let's give file access. Now as we are reading, just give read. You can also give read write, but as we are just reading, this function reads the file. So just read it. Now let's follow the same convention which we have used before. Let me mention the stream file stream out of the file. Same way we have a stream reader. Stream reader is to read a stream, and in this situation stream reader will be used to read a file. Now you can see stream reader whenever you create an object. Now again you can see it will demand a stream, and we have file stream ready. Right? Same way, but the one class which is wearing the stream reader, and whenever you are creating a stream which is a file stream, the access modes and everything will be different. That's our right? So this is what is happening. Now here, how to read is the question. I have a stream, I created a path, and on that path I already have a tool which can read line by line or complete data. Right? Now here let's see how to read it. Let me create a simple string here. Right? And here we know that let's read line by line. But how to read line by line? We have sr dot read line. Right? So this read line will actually read each and every line. So we have to actually hold it. I can hold it on line, let's say. Right? Now it will actually give you only one line. How to read all the lines? I can use while loop to loop on and read. But while loop needs some condition, right? Now what is the condition? I'll read that line, place it on this line, and I'm going to check whether this line is not equal to 1. Now this is my complete operation. How to do? What I'm doing here, I have a line string. What I'm doing every time I'll read the line from stream, save it here, and here I'm checking whether it is not null, whether it is null or not. If it is not null, then enter into while, otherwise get out of the loop. Right? So here let's print console.writeLine of the line. And once it is done, then finally let's check whether stream reader is not equal to null, and if so, then close it up. Right? So let's let's say I cannot stream most. Now one more thing here which we just missed it. So while reading, right, but for stream reader you won't have flush, right? Whenever you're reading data, right, you don't actually need a flush operation, right? Only for writing up we have to make sure yes you did, right? So here I have close the stream. Once everything is done, just say while reading. File read operation successful. Now I'm not creating any exception over here, but this is the main operation which we are doing. We're creating a file stream, we're creating a path to read, and I'm actually using a main tool to read the data, and I'm reading it, I'm actually printing on a console. Right? So let's run this operation, run this program and see. Before that I'll have to call that method, right? So I'll comment this write file and I'll call read file. Right? See here. Now here, whatever we actually wrote, right, we're able to read everything, including new line, and after the new line, there was no data. So it actually came out of the loop, right, and it says stream closed successfully and file read operation successful, right? So even in read, let's say you are not doing a close, then what happens? Check this out. So successfully here, let's go to this and try to type in and save. See, so it can be write or read. It doesn't matter. If you don't close the stream, right, it will be locked, right? And you have to come out of operation to save. Now let me go and save. That is saved. Right. So this is how it works. Right. So this is how we read. And now, if any exception happens in between, or whatever can happen, right, your data is safe and you are actually safely closing or unlocking your, right, so that some other project, process can use it for reading or writing or different stuff there. Right. So this is about your reading and writing of the file. Now you can see. You may get actually question that where am I using the file class, right? Now for your file stream, right, there are different modes as I said, right? You can directly give your file creation path directly, right? You don't have to actually use a file stream directly. Rather, what you can do, you can do something called file dot create, right? This will give you a file stream. Overwrites everything and it will give you some access. Now, while creating itself, you have file options, right? Security level. You can use this file stream. But when we are giving a direct file, yes, which means yes, we are file stream internally access the file class to actually go to this file, right? Create it, right? Internally file stream will normally use your file class to create a file and keep it open as a read access, right? So this is how we work with file systems and IO streams in .NET. So this completes the complete C# which we have. C#.NET is done.